Alright, so the first one I will be talking about is Drunk World. This one actually has it where the numbers that you put in is a reference to Terraria's 9th birthday, so 5/16/2020. That's Terraria's 9th birthday. And yeah, this one's called Drunk World for a very good reason, because it will generate both evil biomes. So you get the corruption shit and the crimson shit. So, you know, you get two evil, very evil biomes that I don't like. Like that both biomes are pretty annoying for me, especially if you're first starting out in the world. Then yeah, it's kind of annoying with both of those. And then there's also going to be both variants of whatever ores that come in multiple variants. So if they come in, I think it's usually two variants of some ores, but it'll generate both variants. It's like, you know, the game's confused, and that's why it's called the Drunk World. It's just because it doesn't know what it's doing, I guess. And then the guide is replaced with Party Girl for your first NPC, so I think that's pretty fitting for that. And then if you find a living tree, which is one of those giant trees that is like opened and you can go down into like this tunnel type of thing, this tunnel system. So if you find one of those, you might actually find a dungeon entrance, because in this seed world thing, whatever it's called, I mean, people call it seeds or worlds, either one, whatever, I guess. But yeah, in this one, you will there's dungeons that now generate living trees. So yeah, that's kind of just, you know, the game once again doesn't know what the fuck it's doing. But yeah, and then also while generating, it's kind of cool. It has mushrooms in the background, and then it has like random numbers for the loading thing instead of like tips and stuff. It's just like random numbers and shit. Um, and then for the moon, it will have a smiley face, which is kind of creepy, but also kind of cool. So yeah, anyways, that's the Drunk World, and I guess let's move on to the next one. Right, next one I'm talking about is called Not the Bees. In the code thing, it's also just Not the Bees. So it's not numbers for this one, it's literally just the title of the world or whatever. The seed is literally just that. But yeah, this is basically a world full of bees, and even the biomes are just bee-themed biomes. And then all like the bee-related items and structures. So, I mean, like up above, there will be a lot of like jungle stuff, but there will also be like hive and honey blocks around underneath the ground. And yeah, the larvae will spawn in random areas too. And then the starting NPC is the merchant instead of a guide. And he will sell, you know, whatever items, I guess, that have to do with the jungle. I don't know, but yeah. And then also when it's generating the world, it'll say generating bees. So that's kind of silly and fun and cool. And then also the icon when you have the world in your world list, it will literally just have a tree with like bees flying around it, so that's fun. That's silly. I do like that. I do like how they added those little bees around the tree for the world icon. So yeah, it's basically just bees. I guess if you love bees, then you might want to play this world. Or, I don't know, if you're trying to get over a fear of bees, this might be a good way to do it, because they're not real bees. And you can just, like, I don't know, kind of try to desensitize yourself to these goobers. I don't know, just a thought there, but anyways, I guess let's go to the next world. Alright, the next one is this For the Worthy One, so the title and the seed are the same thing, and this one increases the difficulty of the game, so a lot of stuff is a lot harder. Also, get this, bunnies, even placed ones, are replaced with explosive bunnies. So, yeah, that sucks. And then all the demons are replaced with voodoo demons. And then the demonologist replaces the guide. So, well, upon entering the world for the first time, I guess, so, you know. But yeah, and then there's like some other world generations, like some water pools will be replaced with lava, and then pots and trees may drop lit bombs and will explode, obviously, because they're lit. And yeah, and then also while generating the world generation messages are backwards. So instead of reading them forwards, you have to try to read them backwards if you want to try to read them. So yeah, this world is kind of, I guess if you want a challenge, then go for this one. Anyways, let's move on to the next seed. Alright, the next one is Celebration MK10. So this one is Terraria's 10th birthday, May 16th, 2021. So you can put the Celebration MK10 for the seed, or you can put the numbers 5/16/2011 or 5/16/2021, because 2011 is when Terraria was made, and then 2021 is its 10th birthday. So yeah, that's cool. But this one is fun because you start out by the beach. You spawn by the beach. And yeah, and then you get the guide, and then you also get a bunch of other, you know, NPCs, townspeople. You get the steampunker, the princess, the party girl, and a town bunny. And then there'll also be a party immediately when it starts. And yeah, and then also most of the world is gonna be super bright and colorful. And yeah, and then it's a jungle mimic. So that's, you know, and then there's golden slimes that can rarely spawn. And while generating, the text on the loading screen is pink, which is cool. And then the Underground Hollow theme replaces the normal title theme. So that's kind of cool. And then the world icon has pink trees, which is cool. And if you didn't notice, some of, like in the actual world itself, the trees will be different colors too. So I thought that was pretty fun. But yeah, this is just kind of a fun little world if you want things to be more colorful and you want to spawn on the beach or whatever, and you want to, yeah, just have multiple NPCs right off the bat. Like this is kind of a fun one for this. So yeah. Anyways, let's go to the next seed. This next one is pretty cool because it is a crossover with Don't Starve together, so everything's a little more, I guess, in the style of Don't Starve. And also, if you notice, the clouds in the sky are in the shape of the characters' like faces and stuff, so that's kind of fun. But yeah, the name of the seed and the seed itself, I guess, can be the same, but there's a couple other variants of it too. And then there's also the eye for an eye seed thing that also does it, I guess. So there's a few different ways you could put the seed in and then have this world. But yeah, also, with it being a Don't Starve Together crossover, it has hunger, and then it does a darkness mechanic, so that's kind of interesting. I'm surprised Terraria doesn't normally have a hunger system, so it's kind of cool that it did this. And then there will be like different statues and stuff that generate throughout the surface of the world, and cacti will also damage the player. And yeah, so it's kind of an interesting thing. So yeah, and then there's the it just makes it look gloomier. And yeah, I think the spiders also spawn up above, and it doesn't have to be in a corrupted area or whatever, or the crimson thing, I mean. But I think the spiders, because yeah, I saw a spider walking around randomly and I was like, oh no, the spiders spawn outside of there too. And then yeah, also the icon for the world will be an evergreen tree from Don't Starve, so that's cool. So yeah, anyways, that will be that one, and let's go to the next seed. Alright, this next one is called No Traps. So the name and the seed itself is the same, but you might think, oh yeah, no traps. I would love that. I want to play on a world with no traps. But it's kind of a lie with the seed. I mean, well, not kind of. It literally is a lie, because it actually makes it so more traps spawn. So, you're gonna be exploding more, you're gonna have more boulders drop on you, all of this stuff. You're gonna have more of the dark traps shooting at you, and yeah, also with the loading screen, it will have the placing traps message be replaced with not placing traps. But, yeah, this is all a big lie, basically, with this one. So, yeah, I guess if you want more traps, then go with the no traps seed. Because, that makes sense, right? But anyways, let's move on to the next seed. This next one is called Don't Dig Up, and I actually do like this one. You end up spawning in the underworld, which is cool. I like that. It also helps if you don't have that achievement yet where you get to the bottom of the world, so you can just kind of cheat and go with this one. But yeah, this one has a few different variations of the seed thing, so you can put any of these 3 variants into the seed thing, and then you will get that. So yeah, it basically flips the order of the player progression by having you go through different biomes there. So yeah, it flips the order of the biomes, I guess. So yeah, it's actually kind of crazy. And then you have to like fight lava slimes and stuff while down there. And then there's like mimics and shit. And I mean, I guess it says mimics. Yeah, it says mimics now spawn pre-hard mode. So yeah, but there's kind of a lot there. And then the icon is an ash tree, which is cool. But yeah, and then the Terraria logo will rotate and flip upside down while it's generating the world. So yeah, it's pretty cool. But anyways, let's go to the next seed. This next one has a few different names, but The seeds is get fixed boy, and yeah, there's two different ways you can enter it in, I guess. But this one is a combination of a few of the worlds that we just talked about. So it's a combination of no traps, not the bees, drunk, celebration, constant, remix, and for the worthy seeds. So yeah, it's a lot of stuff. So you spawn in the underworld, you get the party stuff with like the multiple people and stuff at the spawn points. You get multiple NPCs. You get the more traps thing. You get more bees and shit. um, yeah, you get a bunch of stuff. And then it's for the worthy, so it's harder to play. But yeah, it's just like multiple of the seeds that we just talked about. So multiple of the seeds that are in this video into one world. So it's actually kind of interesting. All the while generating, all the text will be backwards except for the not placing traps. So that's kind of silly. The logo will be flipped upside down, and the background will be replaced with a field of stars. The cursor will be changed to a face made out of 2 stars and a moon. Like the drunk seed, how it has that for the moon. And then it has the outline of the progress bar rapidly flashes between corruption and crimson. And then falling stars can be bounced off the cursor, which makes the same sound as Meowmere's projectiles. So, yeah. And then the world icons will be all glitchy and then also can be upside down. So, yeah. It's kind of like extra crazy with this one. Anyways, let's move on to the next seed. And then there's one more that I have to talk about, which is called Skyblock. So this one will be completely empty, other than a couple floating islands, and they will generate some dirt blocks with no grass. And you know, you have your main island, and then you have another island off wherever. And yeah, you have to like do things to like get items, I guess. I guess with the slimes and stuff, because I killed a few slimes when recording this, and they dropped some stuff. So I was like, okay, cool. I guess they drop things so we can start working our way to more of a normalish Terraria world. So yeah, cool. I think this is kind of a cool one if you want to like challenge yourself with making different things off of nothing, I guess, or barely anything. So yeah, I feel like this would be a cool kind of challenge world. So yeah, that is the last one. So I guess, you know, you can pick from any of these seeds and do all of that. And yeah, so I guess that's it.